And we should be live now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another
Hello,
live stream.
hello.
Yes, Matthew is back again. We have been doing this for quite a long time. We were just talking about offline that we first connected on my channel, I think 9 years ago, you said. And
Very, very nearly 9 years. I think the first one was May 2016.
right. So, yeah, 8.5 years is crazy. And then it's been about 2 or 3 years since we last did a live show. I took a break after YouTube made some changes. I felt really discouraged from doing live shows. So
Yeah,
just oh, go ahead.
sorry. Live shows are literally like I can't bring myself to actually like film videos of just like me talking to myself for like 3 hours and then editing them down anymore. But anytime you ask me to do a live stream, I'm so here.
It's a lot easier to have another person to talk to than just talking to yourself, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, YouTube moved their live streams over on their own tab on everyone's channels. So that's why I was like, I don't think anyone is seeing them now who would want to
Hmm.
see them. So, but we're giving another shot. I was not too disappointed with the views on the last one that I did with Quinn. But on this one, we are going to be discussing Utada Hikaru's latest release. It is the science fiction live tour.
Yes, and Emily has a copy of it because she paid for courier shipping. If
Yes,
you have,
FedEx got my
if,
money again.
yeah, if you have been following the situation in Canada right now with Canada Post, oh God, it's been a mess for the last month. So
Yeah, so they're on strike, but they've just been ordered back to work by the
yeah,
government.
mm-hmm.
Oh, Dylan is here. Hello, Matthew and Emily. It's Dylan.
Yes, hello, hello.
Thanks so much for coming out, Dylan.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, as usual.
Also, I hope I say your name correctly. But Matthew, I linked your Instagram in the description down below. Did you want to talk about what kind of stuff you're posting lately? If there's anything else
Uh,
you want to talk about?
I mean, I'm not buying as many books as I used to, so I don't post a whole ton, but I'm a lot more active there than I am probably anywhere else. Uh, I do a lot of like bookish kind of like unboxings and uh, stuff like that. I did. I do a lot of
Reviews?
sometimes, yeah. Like I'll
Mm-hmm.
post reviews. I'll post them on Goodreads, and then I'll post them into my Instagram story with the links. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. Basically, if you want to connect with me at this point, best place to do that is Instagram. And I don't post as much. I don't post every day like some people do, but when I have something to share, you'll usually find it there.
Right. And Matthew used to make some J-pop related videos on YouTube too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh God, that was so long ago.
yeah, I miss it though.
Yeah.
And you privated our old videos on your all of your J-pop videos.
Yeah,
Rare.
because that was when YouTube was doing their whole kid friendly thing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And there was like they scared a lot of people with, oh, if you label these videos incorrectly, we're gonna find the shit out of you. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, what was there to do, really?
Mhm.
So that
So
was that was the beginning of the end of my YouTube career.
you still did some book related videos for quite a while though.
Yeah, I still did those for a bit and kind of pivoted, and obviously I come here and I talk to y'all about J-pop, but if I feel the need to, basically it's in a live stream at this point. So
Yeah. Um well, at least we still have this channel.
yes,
um So we've been getting fed with Utada Hikaru stuff recently. As we were talking about again before we started streaming, the other live Blu-rays have been delayed a bit into January. Um,
January the 8th, I want to say?
yeah, around there. It's like after the first week of January.
Right.
But they originally were supposed to come out at the same time as science fiction. So if you did not get around to ordering those yet, it's okay.
Yeah. And I don't think they're limited releases at all, which
hmm
is a godsend considering how difficult some of them were to find. And looking at you, Tata United, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and the whole fiasco with the vinyls when the vinyl re-releases came out,
Mm-hmm.
where they sold out instantly.
Oh God.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, so there is a documentary that comes with this Blu-ray. Both this is the special edition and the regular edition. It comes with both,
Yeah.
and it's a 30-minute documentary making of the tour, and it is subtitled. So the whole tour and the documentary are subtitled in English and Japanese. I had someone ask about that in my unboxing video. So
Awesome.
that was really nice.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing the stream you watched, it doesn't have subtitles on it.
No, it did.
It
It
did?
did.
Oh, okay, excellent.
I watched it for the most part. Well, the first time I watched it, it was on Bilibili,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which that is a fabulous little app. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff there. Oh my God.
mm-hmm.
Uh, but my subsequent watches were on Amazon Prime Video, so you just turn on
Oh.
the subtitles
Mm-hmm.
there, and I did that mostly for the speaking parts, but it did all the English lyrics for the songs too, so that was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. There are a few lives up on Prime Video now, including this one, and then also Laughter in the Dark and
Hmm.
the that studio session that Hikaru did for their birthday.
Air
The Air
Studios.
Studio.
That's the last thing we reviewed. If you look back on it,
You're correct. Yeah. So I didn't even check those out on there yet, but yeah, I'm glad you can get the subtitles on there too.
absolutely.
Um, Dylan said when I bought Utada United 2006 a few years ago, I had to get them used, and it was an iffy thing on eBay. Yeah, that's where I got mine as well, and it's a bootleg copy. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to getting the real Blu-ray.
Utada Unite. I just remember from your collection video like
Yeah.
10, 12 years ago. You
Yes, it was
showed
like
that
11
off.
years ago.
God
Um,
almighty.
I've been thinking about doing a new collection video. Um, it's going to be a long video of my whole J-pop and like couple Korean things collection that I have. I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of how to film it
Right.
correctly.
I mean, when I did my J-pop collection video, this was a couple years ago now, when I was still making videos, I was like literally sitting at my kitchen table because that was the only place that could fit literally everything.
Yeah, I
And then
remember that.
I had to stand up and like
hmm
cycle through everything. And by the time I was finished with all of that and sat down, my legs were just like chilly.
yes. So, um,
And I
hope.
have been getting some new stuff in, so
Oh.
maybe part two, maybe an
hmm
updated one if I make a new video. Maybe we'll
hmm
see.
yeah, I would definitely be checking that out.
Yeah, because I've gotten like the unplugged Utada Hikaru unplugged. I've gotten like a couple of the new Angela Aki album came out this year. I got that,
hmm
which thank God she returned to the music industry. Oh my God, I was so happy. And then obviously the Blu-rays are coming.
hmm
And I have a Boa album as well that I recently got.
Oh, which album?
Her 2018 her most recent Japanese album, I think, from 2018 or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce the title of it because it is crazy long and I'm probably gonna butcher it. But
Yeah, it's a Japanese title.
yeah, I really, really liked that album, and for the longest time I wasn't able to find it on CD Japan or anything, but I found it on eBay, and I'm
Hmm.
just like, yes.
Yeah.
So I might be doing a new J-pop collection video at some point. I might want to get a couple more things in before I commit to doing it, but
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
that would be fun. Boa did recently announce that she is planning on releasing a new Japanese album before she retires.
Woo!
So,
Yay.
yeah.
But the fact that she's close to retiring is so depressing.
I know, but at the same time she deserves it, and like I totally understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very much as influential as like Namie Amuro.
Hmm.
So she definitely deserves a little bit of peace and quiet if she decides to do it. If she decides to retire, of course.
Yeah. Um, so shall we jump into the tour review?
Yes, we shall. And
Yeah.
we're only starting 12 minutes after, so we're making pretty excellent time considering.
Yeah, I wore my science fiction shirt, guys.
Yeah, I can't really see it, but I have a little Tokyo-esque shirt
Oh,
with some cherry blossoms on it.
cool. Dylan, I know it is depressing that Boa is going to be going away, but we have a lot of discography to look back on from her, and
Let's
yeah.
hope he doesn't pull a Namie and like
No, don't
completely
say
wipe her music off of streaming. Oh my god.
Yeah, everyone buy the albums now.
Yeah. And I mean, Boa has always been, and I hate to sidetrack us a little bit more, but Boa has always been, to me, kind of like an underappreciated artist, especially uh, more recently.
Yeah.
People have been calling her like old and washed up, and
Hmm.
I'm like, dear God, have some respect, would you?
No, yeah, like because the new generation of J-pop or K-pop would not exist without Boa. Like she invented K-pop as we know it.
Boa was K-pop.
Hmm.
There was no one doing it the way that she was doing it
Yeah.
until she came along. And then she is the one who broke down all of the barriers in terms of Korean artists crossing over into Japan, which is so commonplace nowadays, but
Yeah.
back then it really was not. And so,
No, and she's still one of the only ones to make original Japanese albums.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I think she was the first one to come to the USA as well and release an English album.
Yeah. Which,
Or that might have been Rain. He did it first.
hmm.
I don't know.
She okay. She was one of the first in America, at the very least.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So shall we start on the science fiction deep
Yes,
dive?
absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. So starting with the intro, um, did you see kind of like what the stage was like and everything from what people were posting while the tour was happening, or did you kind of go in like totally
I
blind?
went into it blindly. I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see any. Like, I didn't want any set list hints. I didn't want any visual hints. I just wanted to. When I experience a tour, I really want to experience it
Oh, LB is in the comments.
like fully. Oh my goodness!
Whitney!
Ah,
She said hello,
hi!
miss you guys. Miss you so much. Thank
We
you for
miss you
dropping
too.
in. Love you. Queen.
LV is an icon.
Yeah, we miss you in your video so much.
Yes, without question.
Dylan said Boa released a self-titled album here in the US back in 2009, the same year Hickey released This Is the One. That is true. That was a big
Mhm.
year.
That was a great year for English speaking Asian music fans.
For sure, yeah. It was really exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying you went into the tour kind of blindly, like you hadn't spoiled anything for yourself.
No, yeah, absolutely. And when I want to experience a tour, I usually wait till either I have the Blu-ray or if it's a current something that's currently ongoing, maybe it'll be put on streaming or whatever, and then I'll watch it at that point. But while the tour is currently going on, I don't usually allow myself any spoilers, and that just kind of preserves the experience for me so that my first reaction is my first reaction, and like it's not like uh put upon, right?
Hmm.
It's not like I'm rewatching something that I've already watched like 20 times. It's
Yeah. Jamal Breezy. Caught a Life, the dynamic duo. Yes, that's us. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Nice to see you back too.
Uh,
Um, yeah, you have a lot more control than I do because I was all over it as the tour was going on in Japan. I was like looking at everyone's Instagram posts, the tweets, and saw
I
everything.
would expect nothing less. I would expect nothing less. Uh, Crystal recently did like within the last 48 hours did a live show at an anime con in
Mhm.
Atlanta,
Yes.
Georgia, and I was all over that. I was like,
Mhm.
and like people got meet and greet tickets, and I tell you, if it was any closer to me, I would have sold my soul,
Yeah,
literally.
I know. Yeah, that's too bad it was so far. But I didn't see anything from that yet, other than that one post I sent you. Are there like recordings of performance or?
Yeah, Crystal's been sharing some of like the photos that people took and the video that people took to her Instagram stories. So
Oh, okay.
uh, I got a pretty decent idea of the set list. Kirakuni was in there. Of course, the extremely iconic and significant to me, Motherland was in there as well. Uh,
Amazing.
uh, she did Love Yourself, which is her new single that just dropped.
Mhm.
uh, and a whole bunch of like Eternal Memories was in there. Koi ni Ochitara was in there. So yeah, it was seems to have been a pretty good show, and I am so jealous of everyone who got to meet her. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that means she'll come to Toronto, but
Oh dear God.
we'll
I have
see.
only been manifesting that for the last since I was what, 15 years old?
Yeah. um, Dylan, speaking of you being all over, Emily, I love how you've gone from your Utada the Pink Blood print era to your new Utada's red bottom boots era.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my current Twitter handle. Whitney, aka LV, I'm the same way, Matthew. My self control is immaculate. No spoilers at all. I block everything. I will wait until everything CD, music videos, concerts, etc. is released officially.
Yes.
I can't, guys. I gotta see it as soon as it comes out. I did wait on the electricity music video actually though, because I was like humming and hawing if I should try and record a reaction video for it. But
Hmm.
I did end up watching it today without recording a video.
Yeah.
So I was late to that, but
Yeah. Maybe we can get into that because it
mhm,
is on the set list for this tour. So maybe if
it
you want to
is.
share your thoughts a little bit when we get into that
Sure.
song,
Yeah.
we can do that.
Okay.
But yes, the opening.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a very appropriately sci fi display of lighting and visual effects. I loved all the shots of the crowd that were interspersed with it. And it really draws you into like the overall theme of the concert. And then like I loved how all the spotlights went off at like different intervals.
Hmm.
And then, you know, Hickey's illuminated and the concert begins in earnest, and it's just like, okay, like now we're here. This is the
Hmm.
moment.
Yeah, I felt like it was atmospheric and kind of dramatic,
Yes.
and
Good words.
I it was like a little bit too long for me because I was imagining being there in person and like finally knowing it was time, and then just being like, "Come on, like, where is Hickey? Like, come on out."
Yeah, if I had been there in person, it probably would have been a bit too long for me as
Hmm.
well. But since I was just watching it uh, on Amazon Prime Video, I really didn't have as much of an issue with it
Okay.
as if I had been there in person.
Hmm. It just reminded me of when I saw Hickey at in the flesh in New York City, and they were like an hour late coming out on stage, I think.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And it was like standing room, so it was like everyone was just standing in general admission. Like every time a light would go off, we'd be like, like everyone's screaming, and then nothing would happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I got a good look during the intro at the set pieces that are like they're almost like moon rocks. They're kind of like sparkly sand
Right.
things. Did you notice those? So yeah, those are neat. And then we opened with one of my favorites, the banger "Time Will Tell."
Oh, I know. Same here. It's one of my favorites too.
Hmm. So I was so happy to open the show with that.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I think I have here in my notes, it's got something of a reputation as Automatic's unfairly lesser known twin sibling.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Uh, I think it's arguably probably the stronger song of the two.
Hmm.
And it was just so nice to see it get its flowers on this tour, and because I don't think Hickey has performed it since like maybe Bohemian Summer.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice to see it be performed again and to see it kind of resurrected, as it were, for this 25th anniversary tour.
Hmm. Um, I thought right off the bat the band sounded amazing. I was listening with these headphones and
Yes.
instead of like my TV speaker, but
Yeah,
yeah, the band was superb through the whole show. But like right away, I was really impressed by them.
absolutely.
Um, and Hikaru's voice sounded better than I expected
Mm-hmm.
on that song.
Yes. Yep. Very much so. And then the way that, even just the way that the opening shot is framed with this Hickey silhouette in side profile, it looks so ethereal, and I was just like completely taken in by it. I'm like, okay, yes. And then,
Um,
and
oh,
then
go.
they're, sorry,
No, you go ahead.
then they're wearing this like beautifully tailored pantsuit, and I'm just like, slay.
Yes, that was the next thing I was gonna bring up too is the outfit. But yeah,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, really beautiful suit. Dylan says Matthew and I were having a proper squee over that last night. Sorry, the fact that Time Will Tell was not only included but was the opener.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
not expected as the opener, but very good. Magna Insomnia said she performed Time Will Tell on the Encore for Wildlife 2010. Excellent point. Thank you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. It's been so long since we reviewed Wildlife, and
Hmm.
since I've seen the concert in general. So
Yeah, I haven't revisited it at all um, since then, I think.
yeah, it was my first J-pop Blu-ray, so it has a very special place in my heart. But
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
Um, so is that all we wanted to say for Time Will Tell?
uh, yeah, the fitted white pantsuit, the steady professional vocal. Uh, I think the last thing I want to touch on is just how happy they seem to be performing uh just this song in general. Like I said, I don't think they performed it in a really long time,
Hmm.
going back to the encore of Wildlife, which is like 14 years.
Hmm.
So they just seem so like vivacious about performing this again, and it was really lovely to see them like smile and
Hmm.
laugh, and they do that a lot throughout this tour, which I thought was really sweet.
Yeah, that was something I wrote down too, is like how the overarching feeling of the whole show is Hikaru is so happy and like feels so mature, but not in an old way, but in a like a whole healed person way, and where she's like enjoying the
Yeah,
show much more than any of the past ones.
right, absolutely, and it felt this entire performance really felt like a full circle moment.
Hmm.
It really did.
I think they wanted to. That was like a goal maybe for all like using all these greatest hits and for the 25th anniversary, and yeah, they
Right,
definitely achieved that.
absolutely they did. Yep.
I know, Dylan, 14 years since Wildlife. I can't believe it either. It's just going by
I
so
know,
fast.
I know.
Crazy. I still remember waking up at like 5 in the morning to catch the live stream from Japan.
I wasn't even a fan at that point.
I know, you're just like a baby.
I I didn't even I didn't even become a J-pop fan until like 2012. Like the very first thing that I heard from Hickey was the Sakura Nagashi single,
Oh, okay, yeah.
way back in the day now.
From Evangelion.
Yeah, and then they kind of just put that out there and dropped off the face of the earth again. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes. The next song is Letters.
yes. For this one, I have that it flows so smoothly from Time Will Tell. The transitions in this concert, immaculate. Like, needs to
Mhm.
be studied because that's art,
Yeah.
how fluid they are.
Mhm.
Uh, it's very rhythmic. It's got a little bit of a Latin flair to it,
Mhm.
which I really like. And, Hickey moves very little, but you can really tell that they're feeling it from the movement that they do show.
Mhm.
And all the close ups on their face and everything. So you can just see how into it they are. And
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that. And then I love the shots of like the stage and such during all of the instrumental parts, uh, which I thought were really good at like establishing like the magnitude of the moment and how like big and impressive the venue is. So the
Mhm.
venue and the production it was. So
Mhm. Um, I noted that the screen animation, which we didn't bring up yet, but the screen display was amazing through the whole show. It was one of the, I think, the best maybe set that Hikaru has had for a live.
absolutely, yeah,
Um, it was kind of
I would
like
agree.
there are certain parts of the song where like these squares would fly across, and it reminded me of like emails going back and forth.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Tetris, which I know Hikaru is a fan of. So
Hmm.
I was kind of like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and as far as the transitions, you'll see in the documentary when you get to it that there's so much work that went into um, everything in this tour. You can tell by the production value just watching it, but they showed a lot about how much the band worked on it and the mix for each of the songs.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I mean, I mean the production value, like you said, is apparent even just watching it. But being able to go back and see it all come together in the documentary. I cannot wait for that when my copy gets here. Oh my god.
Hmm. Magna Insomnia said, "My only gripe with the set list is there's no Deep River again. Such a beautiful song and underplayed." Yeah, it's been a
On this
super
we
long time.
agree.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wonder why that one keeps getting left off.
Yeah, it's so beautiful,
Hmm.
and I'm just like I don't think there's very many songs that I would have replaced that with on this particular set list, but maybe in some of the past concerts I would have probably opted for Deep River over something that was played in maybe Laughter in the Dark or
Hmm.
uh, Wildlife, so
Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure why it keeps getting snubbed like that.
mhm.
Um, Victory and Yahusha said, "I love the 2024 mixed version."
Of
Yes.
of the others, yes. Yeah,
um, yeah, they put a lot of work into these mixes, so it was very impressive.
absolutely they did. I mean, if you're gonna do, like, a partial remix album for the greatest hits release, then
Hmm.
that's the way to do it. Hickey
Yes.
came correct, as we say.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if anyone says that anymore. I'm probably showing my age a little bit, but
I'm not the one to ask.
yeah.
um,
Here's a little bit of a mind fuck for you. I am now the same age that you were when we did that very first live stream.
oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. So like, yeah, that's our age. Yeah, our age difference is that exact amount of time that's elapsed since we first started talking through YouTube.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I mean, I had known of you for maybe a couple of years previous,
Hmm.
and then when we finally met, I remember just being so nervous, and then like we just became really good friends, and I'm very grateful for that. So
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm really happy I met people through my channel. That's exactly why I made it. So I'm really
yeah,
happy about that.
and I mean, if someone had told me when I was 19 years old that doing YouTube would give me some of the literal best friends I've ever had,
Oh yeah.
I would not have believed them. But
Oh.
I'm very, very glad that that it has, for sure.
Hmm. Me too. Um, the next song
Anything?
is.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I was
I was
already
going
gonna
to
move
ask if
on.
you had anything further to add on letters, but next song.
uh, yeah. Wait and see. Risk. Is
Yes, yes, yes. This is another one I was very happy to see on here. I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like it's a bit underplayed, and I think that the Distance album had some sneakily good singles, and this was one
Hmm.
of them. So I was very happy to see it on here. You can really hear the backing vocalist quite well on this track, and the harmony throughout this song is fantastic.
Hmm.
And then what else do I have here? I love the orange lighting. The crowd seems to be really into it, and Hickey's voice seems to be really strong in the early going. Uh, they also move around quite well in this performance. Uh, they're really kind of engaging with their body language and even jumping in time with the drums as the song reaches its conclusion. And I hadn't seen Hickey have that much energy in a really long time, so it was really kind of adorable actually to see them kind of like jumping like a
Yeah.
teenager to drums.
Yeah. That was so cute.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, you made some very thorough notes there.
Yeah, I know. My,
um,
my, my note taking, as with everything else, is immaculate.
that's true. um, yeah, I just noted this mix was different than what we've heard before, and it was very heavy on the keyboard.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I liked it, and there was like a dramatic pause
Right.
at one point in the song, and yeah, I think the whole presentation, like you said, was just very effective. Um, and I do like the song, but it's not one of my favorites, I would say. But
Yeah, that's fair.
when you said I'm happy, I found your channels too. Yes,
Yes.
so happy to have you in
Yeah.
our community.
We love you. We miss you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, Dylan said, "Oh my gosh, that jump! I literally waited to see the concert until Matthew and I did our watch through last night, and I was stunned. I was watching it last night too, so we were probably watching at the same time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Hickey that excited since Bohemian Summer. That's true.
Yeah.
Um, ready to go to the next one?
Yep. If you don't have anything further to add.
Yep. The next song is new surprise fave for a lot of people, I think. In My Room off of First Love, an album track.
I love this song. I've
Mhm.
always loved this song. So when this started playing, when I did my very, very first initial watch through on Billy Billy, just about lost my goddamn mind. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I felt like Janice from Friends, if you get that reference.
I've never really watched Friends.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, there's this character. There's this like recurring side character named Janice, and her
Hmm.
big thing, whenever she's introduced at various points in the series, is always with a very loud and very dramatic. Oh my god! So I felt very much like Janice in that moment when I
Okay.
first was watching this, and saw when I first heard the first notes of this come through, and I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, I'm so happy the song has made a comeback. I have a feeling Hikaru really likes the song now too, like because I think we got it in that Air Studios performance too, didn't we?
Hmm. Uh, I'm trying to think. Did we? I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Air Studios is not, even though I own like the limited edition of the Bad Mode album, and that was included.
Hmm.
It's not something that I go back to, just because it's kind of short too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like between if I have to choose between watching Wildlife and Laughter in the Dark, which I
Hmm.
have on Blu-ray, then or Air Studios, then I'm just like, yeah, I'm choosing one of the full concerts. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm looking up the set list right now. Oh no, it's not on there.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so, but I'm just like, was it? No. Okay.
I imagined that.
It's a good image. I'll give you that much. I wish it had been performed at that
Yeah,
performance,
we got
but
some other really good ones though, because we got the Exodus songs.
right, right. And then we had Find Love, which was one of my favorites off of Bad Mode. I was so happy to hear that live.
Hmm. Um, yeah, so I think the only other thing, oh yeah, I said that the band looks just as geeked as I am for this song.
Yes. And then I have here, I really love, how Hickey moved across the length of the stage. Uh,
Hmm.
they did that very well. And then, like, the blue and the orange lighting really added to, like, the atmosphere of the song. And it really kind of, again, as lighting is supposed to do, it really draws you in and accentuates the performance. So,
Yeah, I
or,
thought
or
that.
at least good lighting should do that. But,
Yeah, I thought the white suit was such a good choice too because it reflected the colors of all the lighting effects.
right.
Um, but yeah, I really love the the band, the whole band. I love the whole band, but this one guy, the bassist, I think, was this like built black guy with long twists.
Right,
And
right.
he was so into this song, he was,
Mhm,
like, throwing his bass around and, like,
mhm.
I was like, "Yes!" I love this song.
That is the kind of energy we need. That is the
Mhm.
kind of energy we deserve.
Yes. So yeah, I can't get enough of the song. It definitely became one of my favorites off of the album, and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I mean, First Love is probably best remembered as an album for, how iconic a lot of its singles were back in the day, but some of the album tracks on that album are just incredible.
Mhm. Truly.
Uh, this one, B and C is another one. Uh, on my one eye, on
Mhm.
my wanna paint it black is another one I
Mhm.
really like as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
anything.
no. Dylan said, "I'm still so mad that I got cheated out of a copy of Laughter in the Dark back when it was out because the seller actually didn't have it and took my money under false pretenses." It was a thing. Uh,
Yes,
I hope you got your money back.
yeah. We were messaging on Instagram as this was happening. It was a whole thing. Oh god. I felt so bad. I'm like, "Do you want my copy?" And they're like, "No."
Aw. Sorry to hear about that, but I'll keep an eye out for copies if you still need one.
Yeah.
But it is on streaming too, so you have
Yes.
that.
Is it still on Netflix or is it just on Amazon Prime now? I don't know.
I don't know either. I actually haven't had Netflix for like 6 months, 6 or 7 months now.
Fair. Yeah.
So yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna look that up actually.
Okay.
I'll look it up. Da-da. No,
Yes,
I
I
did
wouldn't.
not. I did not want to continue watching Selling Sunset right now.
I wonder if In My Room was last performed live at Love Live in 1999.
Probably. It seems like it would be. Yeah, it is still on. Laughter in the Dark and Air Studios are also still on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So if you have Netflix or Amazon Prime and you for some reason haven't seen either of those performances, there you go.
Can you guys hear Shane yelling? Is
No,
my
I can't.
mic
I
picking
can't
up?
hear anything.
Okay. I just texted him to be quiet. I can hear him yelling over my noise canceling headphones on PlayStation downstairs.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Dylan, just to let you know, Quinn was saying on our Namie stream a couple weeks ago that if stuff gets removed from the iTunes store or um, Apple Music or whatever, you don't have it anymore, even if you paid for it. So all of the Namie stuff that you may have bought once upon a time, it's gone. It'll be gone from your library.
That's wild to
Yeah.
me.
So
That's
just
wild.
take caution with those things. Yeah. Whitney, it happened to you too. You got scammed and had to go through hell to get your money back. That stinks. I'm sorry. It happened to me with my distance, my first attempt to get distance as well.
Oh god, that was a whole thing with mail order Japan. I remember. Oh god.
You're right. Yeah.
I love that. I love how if you go and watch that video now, literally the recommended videos are full of like video suggestions about mail order brides
Are
because
they
it was mail
really?
order Japan.
Yeah. Maybe they should rethink that name.
If they're even still in business at this point, with how
hmm
shoddily their business was run, I doubt it. But
Yeah. I got a comment from someone saying like, "Oh, I love mail order Japan. I've only had good experiences with them." So.
okay then.
So yes, the next song, if that was all you wanted to say.
Yeah. There is a bit of a spoken interlude, and I did take the opportunity since I had all the subtitles to kind of write down everything that was being said
Okay.
in these like interlude parts.
Mhm.
So they're greeting the audience and thanking everyone for coming. The concert that was filmed for the tour was being held at like 4 or 4:30 in the afternoon. So they're like,
Mhm.
is it hello or is it good evening?
Mhm.
Uh, Hickey was saying they never really kind of know what to say at that particular time of day.
Yeah.
And then they had a really beautiful line about how this concert's happening at twilight, between day and night.
Mhm.
And they express hope that they and the audience can enjoy this moment together. Uh, uh, what else is here? They remind Hickey reminds them to drink water, which we love a compassionate and
Mhm.
uh, caring sovereign of J-pop, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Brought to you by Suntory.
Yeah. Did they sponsor this tour? I don't even know if they did
I
or
don't
not,
know.
but
Yeah.
yeah. And then the only other thing that they really said was they were apologizing if people were looking forward to taking photos or video
Mhm.
because this was the last date of the tour and they specified no filming or photos or anything for
Mhm.
this particular date. So even though it had been allowed at prior dates,
Yeah.
it wasn't allowed here. So they were just apologizing for that, and they said that since this is the last show, they just wanted to be completely in this moment. So
Mhm. I wonder if also they just didn't want to have people in the recording, like everyone in the crowd holding up their phone, you know?
I, I, I mean that probably factored into it as well. Yes, I would assume.
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't write anything down for that MC, but some later ones I did.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome for it. So,
Yeah, thanks.
all right. So, next song, if you don't have anything further to add on In My Room.
Mhm. Go ahead.
So, the next song is Hikari. Uh,
Mhm.
this song opens with another almost kind of ethereal lighting display, uh, but it's red and it's nearly impossible to see anything in like the opening seconds of this performance until uh, we get to the close up of Hickey's face inside profile, and then it gets a little bit better. I don't know
Mhm.
if you had that issue too, where you could hardly see anything when this song first started, but
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
for me it was a bit of an issue, and it's a wonder that Hickey themselves were not blinded because I'm just like, oh my god, like Jesus Christ. Uh, I really liked when like the red lights flickered almost in time with the beat or the melody
Mhm.
in this song. And I do enjoy this song on its face. I have no qualms about its inclusion here or the performance in general. I think it's a very, very solid performance. My only gripe with this song is and always has been the Kingdom Hearts connection
Mhm.
and the subset of fans of Hickey that think like anything that Hickey has done for Kingdom Hearts is like the be all and end all of their career and
Mhm.
doesn't really take the time to explore their discography in any greater depth other than Simple and
Right.
Clean or Passion or Hikari or
Yeah. I think that's a uniquely like Western fan effect too, because I'm pretty sure majority of Japanese fans and other East Asian fans know Hikaru through First Love and like the really big hits.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's a very Western thing, but it irks me nonetheless, and it just kind of
for sure.
I went on a little bit of a rant to Dylan when we were watching this last night, so
Hmm.
sorry for that, but also not sorry because it's real. And then uh, one of the things that Dylan brought up actually when we were watching it that I didn't realize until they brought it up was there was a little bit of an echo effect on this song that gives it something of an auditory facelift was how they put it, which I thought was
Oh,
so. I don't know if you noticed anything, but I didn't. So this was all Dylan's doing. So thank you for that.
yeah, that's an interesting way to put it. I thought that the red and with there was a lot of smoke pumped out.
Hmm.
Like there's
Yeah.
these columns of smoke, I think, for that song that came out like behind the screens. And it wasn't what I expected for the visuals for that song. But with the sci-fi mix that they used,
Hmm.
um, it made sense, and it had a totally different feeling than previous performances of Hikari.
Right.
And I wrote down that it had an almost like in utero effect. It was like a fetus like listening to the song with the like pulsating lights in red and like I don't know.
Hmm. All right. So anything further to add on Hikari? Anything you wanna?
Nope, that's it.
Okie dokie. Next song. Uh, you wanna introduce the songs, or should I do it? I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We could switch back and forth whenever
Yeah,
too.
sure. Let's do it. Let's switch back and forth.
Okay.
So the next song is For You.
Hmm.
Uh, this was another very smooth transition from Hikari into this song. It's a distance deep cut, and I have here those ad libs. Chef's kiss. I love the green, like mintish green tint to the lighting
Hmm.
in this song, and I don't know if it's just me, but I never really realized how kind of sad but also petty some of the lyrics in this song were. So the lyrics are flashing across my screen when I'm watching it on Amazon Prime, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I have here. I'm kind of here for the sad petty vibes. It's not my favorite track from the Distance album, but I'm not mad at its inclusion here, and it's a really solid performance overall. So,
Hmm. It was green to match the like distance album. I feel
right.
the lighting. Yeah, I really liked the visuals on the screen. Uh, they were like columns of TVs.
Right, right.
That looked really cool. I felt like Hikaru's voice was struggling a little bit in some parts. Um, but yeah, overall it was okay. Not my favorite on the set list either, but um,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is one that I could have easily had replaced with something else from Distance. Can You Keep a Secret? Maybe Kato Base would have been fun.
Hmm.
Something like that, right? So,
Yeah. Um, Whitney said, this is going back to our discussion on Hikari. Ironically, my first introduction with her was Passion, but I never played Kingdom Hearts. I got dragged when I said that to the Cage fans.
I bet you did.
I'm so sorry. They're vicious out there.
I'm so sorry you had to, but I'm not surprised.
Dylan said, that was a fun rant. I have one myself about the snubbing of Somewhere Near Marseille.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that, honey. We're gonna talk about that.
So this is kind of a spoiler, but on the Blu-ray, um, the science fiction mix of Somewhere Near Marseille is the end credits song.
Yes,
Hmm. So it's
and
still on there, but not live.
And given one of the songs in particular on this track list, I'm so mad at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I guess we'll get to that, or do you want to?
yeah.
Okay.
We'll get to it. I'm just saying, like, given one of the songs on here, that was in like the main concert, like you couldn't put somewhere near Marseille. Like even at the end of an encore, it
Hmm.
had to be like an end credit thing. Like the uh like cut down mix that they did for it was literally made for this tour, and yet
Hmm.
they relegated it to an end credits thing. I was so Della and I were both livid. Oh god.
Yeah, that would be a fun song live to just get everyone dancing.
Yeah, sunglasses. Oh yeah.
That
That
would
would
be
be
a good
fun.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Ready for the next one?
Yep.
The next song is Distance, but we were surprised with the M Flow remix.
Yeah. Hickey's only collaboration with M-Flow, might I add, which is a crime.
Yeah,
It's a crime that this
yeah.
is the only M-Flow Hickey collaboration floating around. The fact that Hickey was not on like the original Loves era albums,
Hmm.
I cannot. Especially because M-Flow seems to literally get every other major artist from that era on their albums.
Hmm.
Namie Amuro, Boa, Crystal,
Yeah,
all of them.
I would love for them to reconnect too, because M Flow is back to being like the tripod again. They're active, and they released another song this year with another female vocalist, and it was kind of like a big return to form for them.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, Lisa came back, who was one of the original members of M-Flow
hmm.
back in the day. She came back around 2017, I want to say, 2016, 2017.
Hmm.
And they dropped the Tripod EP with the banger that was No Question. Oh my god, that song is still so good.
I haven't listened to that in so long.
Oh, it's so good. Uh, and then they released their album Kyo, and then they've kind of been like putting out music sporadically ever since.
Hmm. And they recently gave a sample to XG, one of my favorites right now. So XG had a single out that sampled an M-Flow song, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Um,
So my notes for this, again, as you said, I was pleasantly surprised to see it included uh,
mhm,
on the set list. Hickey seems very energetic, and I love the orange and yellow lighting. The instrumental break in this performance is a thing of beauty.
mhm.
I really enjoyed it. So
Yeah, I mostly said the same thing. I was a little bit irked by the intro. Hickey vocally was struggling with that the very beginning where she just says like distance, you know,
yeah,
the intro's like
mhm,
um, she was like off key, but the rest of the song was good.
yeah.
Um,
Like as soon as they said "Welcome aboard," I think it was "Welcome aboard Global Astroliner." I'm like, oh yes, honey.
mhm.
I knew at that moment. I'm just like, yes, M-Flow.
Yes, I was so impressed by the band in this song because the original song is like all synth, I think, and they had a real life live band recreate
Hmm.
the song, like a real drummer. Like they knocked it out of the park. They did amazing.
Right.
And yeah, I got the sense again that Hikaru was having so much fun with this song and like dancing and just having fun with the tempo.
Hmm.
And it's probably fun to change up a classic like that has been performed a lot of times.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you're gonna change up a classic like that, I mean, Hickey has performed it so many times, both uh, as Distance and Final Distance.
Hmm.
So I felt like for the 25th anniversary, they really were trying to think of, okay, how can we uh, bring something new to it?
Hmm.
And then they suddenly remembered they had a remix from Mflow
Yeah.
laying around. So
If only we could get that for First Love, but I know it'll never happen.
yeah. Anything further to add on the Distance Mflow remix?
um, nope.
Okie dokie. So the next song that we have is Traveling.
Hmm.
And again, I highlighted it here. The transitions in this concert have been so incredibly smooth. Hickey asks the audience if their hearts and their bodies are warmed up,
Hmm.
and after receiving a cheer, she asks them to dance and sing together. Uh, and we launch into this, like, I would call Traveling a fan favorite, would you not?
Yeah, and definitely everyone gets pumped for the live version.
Yeah, for sure. This song is always such a crowd pleaser from an energy and an audience participation standpoint, and it's really easy to see why. It's a fun, cute, quirky little song overall, and you can feel that energy in just about every aspect of this performance. So,
Hmm. Um, I was kind of surprised by the subtitles in this, where the like backup hook or something like it was subtitled as ta ta do. So the part in distance were like da 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 da.
mhm.
I never thought it was like da da do da da do. It's like,
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
um,
That is the kind of thing that you painted into as the biggest Hikaru Utada fan on the planet. That is not something that I would have necessarily thought to think of, like, oh, that's different. That's different from what I have always thought or expected, or
yeah. Hmm. I had that experience too with was it Can You Keep a Secret on the science fiction mix where we got the re-recording
I
and
think, yeah, I think it was Can You Keep a Secret?
what was it? Anyway, I got annoyed that Hikaru was saying like "chicky chicky."
Right, right, yeah, I remember. I remember. We discussed this. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
um, but yeah, this one I found the displays were flashing quite a bit. So heads up. I'm sure people who have epilepsy go into these things
With caution,
with
anyway. But
caution. Yeah, but I found with Japanese media they never put warnings or anything like that.
yeah, uh,
Um,
and as someone who used to have seizures before I grew out of them, they are
mm,
no joke. So please, 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 take care of
yeah,
yourselves.
yeah, that's really scary. So if you are sensitive to those things, there's your warning.
Yeah,
And also, this was another one where I found the ad libbing you mentioned previously, but the ad libbing in this song was really nice.
yeah,
Um,
I agree. I didn't note it, but I agree. Uh, and then there's also an outfit change,
hmm,
like either during or immediately after this song, into this like flowing, elegant white floor length dress. Hickey thanks the audience for singing and dancing and letting them and the band hear their voices before kind of remarking on the amazing stage setup, which, if you see the whole stage throughout this performance, it is stunning.
yeah,
It's so impressive.
it's really good. I think that
Yeah.
outfit actually is the same suit, but Hickey just takes off the jacket.
Maybe, yeah.
Because at one point, like an assistant comes up and takes the jacket from them.
Right, right. And there's also some remarks Hickey makes here about how unique the K Arena venue, the Yokohama K Arena venue is.
Mhm.
and how intimate the venue feels, even at the furthest seats. Uh, they remark about the intensity of the last few songs and suggest a cool down with a more chill song.
Mhm.
Before clarifying that it's not exactly chill, but that it's like time for a more laid back song. And I don't know how you can consider this next song a laid back song or a chill song, but okay, Hickey, you do you, girl.
I thought the same thing. I thought that was so funny. Whitney said, just going back to traveling, I was a bit concerned about how a re-recording would turn out and how much would change. I liked how it turned out. It sits nicely between being close enough to the original, but it definitely differentiates enough to be appreciated as its own thing with Hikaru's more recent material.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, Dylan, you did get a refund, but it was a debacle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, I had a front row seat for that, and I was both like angry and sad and kind of annoyed for on their behalf for that.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, then we got the quintessential First Love performance.
yeah. You can just feel the swell in the audience as the
Hmm.
first notes of this start to play,
Yeah.
and I swear this song has such a chokehold on the citizens of Japan. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
it just has that effect on people. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's a very simple, unadorned, but emotive performance. And it's a song that's basically been a requirement on literally every concert set list since 1999.
Hmm.
And I always feel conflicted about it because I personally love this song. It was the first Japanese language song of Hickey's that I heard ever. So between that and the fact that I'm just generally a ballad whore, I do love the song. I
Hmm.
love like the lyrics and how like bittersweet and impassioned they are. But as Hickey performs it every tour, I do wish we could get something of a reprieve from it at some point. Even
Hmm.
though I don't think the citizens of Japan will ever allow that to happen.
Yeah. Oh, Dylan said, Matthew, you were such a rock for them during that time and talking down from a panic attack. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh. Helen Ikeda, welcome to the stream. Chokehold is such a great word to describe first love.
Yeah, I swear, and we've talked about this before too, how literally every artist, when they choose a song of Hickey's to cover, chooses First Love.
Hmm.
It's insane. Like, you not pick something different for the love of God every once in a while? Like, I get that it's a big ballad, I get that it's a legendary song, but really, come on.
That's true. I think one of the members of XG, again, to bring up XG, covered, I think it was Never Let Go. So finally someone picked a different
Something
song.
different. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, Helen, you're tuning in from Melbourne, Australia.
Oh my
Hello.
goodness. Hello. Hello from Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day too. I was like, how random is it that we met on the internet through J-pop and we both happen to live in the same province, like 5 hours from each other?
Yes. Yeah.
um, yeah. So for the first love performance, I actually really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it more than the Laughter in the Dark performance.
I agree.
Um,
Yeah.
the screen graphics were really pretty. The like falling feathers.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I was a little disappointed we didn't get to see much of the audience's reaction. to the
Yeah,
song.
other than that swell at the beginning, because you could just feel the energy just lift up as soon
Yeah.
as this started.
Yeah, you can hear the audience all like freaking out as soon as it starts. But yeah, usually like I wanted to see some people crying and shit.
I know.
Like yeah, you usually see girls crying into their tour towels and especially
Yes.
at Kodakumi shows, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um
I think it's Ku's 25th anniversary this year too, isn't it? Is it
you're
not?
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So we have Hickey, we have
Mhm.
Crystal, we have Ku, all in their 25th year. That's insane to think
Yeah.
about.
And is it IU's as well? Or is she's on her 26th year?
I think I use 26,
Yeah.
technically speaking.
Yeah, Dylan, if they did a different mix of First Love, switch it up a bit like they did with Distance, that would be really nice. But yeah, I just don't think it'll happen because the audience won't be having it.
Right.
Um,
Literally, the headlines worldwide would be riot at Nippon
Riot.
Budokan or something.
Can you imagine?
Wherever Hickey performs it and switches
Yeah.
this up for the first
Hmm.
time, there will be riots. I can guarantee you.
That's so funny. So that's all I had for that one. How about you?
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Okay, Jamal says waiting on that Kingdom Hearts 4 song. Yep. Lord
It,
knows when that will come out, but
is it confirmed that there's going to be a fourth Kingdom Hearts? I didn't realize that they
yeah.
confirmed the fourth one.
Hmm.
I mean, it took so long for Free to get here. Jesus.
Yep. I think it'll be still going till I die, honestly.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
um, so the next one is Beautiful World.
Yes.
Hmm.
I love the blue lighting in this performance. It's so beautiful, and I really liked it was so cute how he brought the audience into it. They let them sing the beautiful. They held their mic out and
Hmm.
let the audience sing that part.
Hmm.
Uh, so I really liked that. And then through the first 10 songs, I have here that Hickey's voice has remained, for the most part, very strong and very stable. So that was
Hmm.
very encouraging,
Yeah.
especially given all their issues with vocal damage and vocal fry. So
Hmm. Um, I really liked. I think it was they used these shots before, but I didn't really notice it till this song where they used kind of a handy cam to shoot Hikaru, and it was kind of like to the side and lower, so it was almost like a fan's POV, like someone in the front row,
right. Oh my God. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was a little
Yeah.
like out of focus, and you could see the light blur behind them, and I don't know, I thought that worked really well. It was a nice touch,
Hmm.
and the the graphics again. I made note of all of the screen graphics
Yeah.
as I was just like looking at them a lot. Um, but it was like a meteor shower for this song.
Right.
It was really cool. It really fit the theme. It fit the song really well.
Hmm. For sure. And then, is that all you have on Beautiful World, or?
Um, oh, I also noticed during that song that all of the band were all playing different keyboards.
Right.
Like the drummer had moved over and the guitarist had moved over. Everyone had their own like synth that they were adding to the song. So that was amazing.
Yeah.
Um, very accomplished musicians on this tour.
Very much so. Yeah.
Hmm.
Very impressed with them. And
uh,
then there's another interlude, which I
mhm.
meticulously wrote down.
I noted something about this one too.
Yeah. So this is the one uh, where Hickey's talking about how they walked up to the like back of the arena,
Hmm.
essentially.
Hmm.
Uh, and was thinking about how cool the venue was, and if there were venues in Japan like the K Arena that existed before, right?
Mm.
Because in countries like America, when you go to like these big concert venues, the stadiums they have like bars and food stands, and K Arena apparently has that kind of same vibe. I've never been there, unfortunately. Dear God, I wish. If I ever get to see a live performance of a tour in Japan, I will literally keel over.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter what it is, I'll go. I don't care.
Yeah, seeing all those people near the front, I was like, I definitely would have bought that expensive package, the VIP package.
Yes.
That was like $800
Yeah.
if I got into one of these shows. But
Yeah. So they were remarking how K Arena has those same kind of vibes as like the big stadiums in America, where they're selling all the food, and in particular they mentioned alcohol and dumplings, which okay.
hmm.
Uh, Hickey got curious and looked at the posters, but what caught their attention most were opera glasses, and they ended
Hmm.
up borrowing a pair of these.
Yeah.
And they pull them out from somewhere. I don't know where the hell they had these opera glasses
Hmm.
on their person until this
Hmm.
moment, but uh Hickey brings them out and like tries to like look through them and is like trying to figure out the proper way to do it.
Yeah, it takes a minute to figure out.
Uh, Hickey was talking also about how these retail for like 3,000 yen, and
Hmm.
they kind of jokingly laugh about the fact no one needs to see me that up close.
I know, and like everyone's there, like, yes, we want to see you up close.
Yeah. And then they say if you go to live shows a lot, it might actually be worth having your own pair of
Yeah,
these things.
actually. If you're far
Uh,
away.
and then they apologize for taking up so much time, and with awkward charm I have here, they transition into the next song, saying
Hmm.
that they hope that their feelings are coming through and that everyone can hear all right. So
Yeah. I thought it was really sweet how Hikaru looked at everyone and like took the time to look around
yeah, like
with the glasses.
I can see you, everyone. I'm like, oh,
I know. It wasn't just like a quick thing. It was like they really like paused and like looked through the whole arena and it was really sweet.
right,
Yeah.
yes.
The next one is
Emily,
Color.
oh,
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
breaking up. You broke up for a second, and you're kind of going out of focus.
oh no. Am I back now?
Yeah, I think you're good. It was just briefly.
Oh, okay. I saw my screen flash, so it must have been my internet.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was saying the next one is Colors.
right. So I have here the lighting is immaculate.
Hmm.
A few of the camera angles for this performance look incredibly cool.
Yeah.
Incredibly cool. And the only other thing that I really noted, because it's kind of a really simple performance, at least at least it was in my view. This is one of my favorites off of the God Tier album that is Ultra Blue.
Hmm.
So
Um,
that's all that I have for that. So if you have anything further to add,
yeah, I wrote I love the screens right away and like again like I already mentioned the white outfit and Hikaru's skin was reflecting especially the purple coming out from the lights and then everything changes to orange and I don't know. I loved uh like the feeling of the song. Overall, this is one of my most favorite songs by Hikaru. So
right,
um their voice was a little bit raspy, but it wasn't in a bad way. And
right.
yeah, I really enjoyed the performance.
Yeah, me too.
Um, Helen said, "I'm still gutted. I lost the lottery 3 times for K Arena. That's so brutal.
Oh
The
God.
lottery system."
Even losing that once would have been awful enough, but to
Hmm.
lose it 3 times, dear goodness, I can't even
Yeah.
fathom that.
Hmm. Um, do you want to introduce the next song?
Yeah, sure. Oh, and this is the one where I have issues. So
Okay.
the next song is Boku Wakuma.
Yes.
And literally my notes for this are pretty much all in all caps because I was so annoyed. Out of all the songs on Heartstation, why did this get a
I
place on the set list in the main concert? Ahead of Stay Gold? Take 5?
know.
Michiru Bus even?
Hmm.
Absolutely the fuck not.
Hmm.
The only redeeming quality that this performance had for me was that Hickey took a turn at the keys. That was
Mm,
literally the only thing that I liked about this. Other than that, I was just annoyed. I'm just like, really?
I know. That's exactly what I wrote in my notes too. I wrote, "Why is this on the set list?" Lol.
Like,
And,
there's an interlude coming up
mhm.
where it is very Kuma centric. So if you're gonna have this at all, have like an instrumental of the song playing during that interlude.
Mhm. For sure.
Don't have it on the full set list. Come on, like be real.
Yeah, I wonder what the crowd reaction would have been if.
Yeah, and, and then like this is a bit of a spoiler, but I mentioned "Stay Gold" in my notes as one of the songs that this got in ahead of. It is an encore track, but this could easily have been a place where "Stay Gold" slid into the main concert, and
Mhm.
then they put "Somewhere Near Marseille" right at the end of the encore instead of in the credits.
Yeah, or literally any other song of Heart Station.
Yeah, basically.
Um, Dylan, you have issues with the song as well. I know.
Hmm.
I will never ever be a fan of this song.
Me neither.
Um, I did get my friend's son into it though, so there is that. Turning him into a Hickey stan early
Yeah.
with her kids' songs.
Yeah.
Um, the next song is "Keep Trying,"
Yes.
and that was
This
a
this is
welcome song.
yeah. It's definitely welcome after Boku Wakuma.
Hmm.
My mood lifted considerably.
Same.
uh, I love Hickey's stage movement and facial expressions. Their little wave that they do is super cute,
Hmm.
and this song is as quirky and cute and fun as Boku Wakuma pretends to be, or or imagines that it is, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, and then there's a spoken word part, like either during or after the song. I didn't really specify where Hickey says that they always feel awkward leading the audience to move in a certain way. It was never really my thing. Were
Hmm.
the exact words used,
Hmm.
uh, but they're having so much fun doing it, and then they say arigato, and I
Hmm.
just thought it was cute, so I made note of
Yeah.
it.
So everyone did like an arm wave after the
Right.
bridge, I think it was.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, after that, I got really emotional, which usually that song does not do to me, but I almost started crying.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it just depends on what you're going through when you're listening to the song. I can imagine that, if you know what the lyrics are saying, and even just even if you don't, just the general like uplifting vibe of the song can really impact someone. So
Yeah, yeah. The bridge is so like soft and nice, and like I don't know. I think there's something to be said about getting to listen to the live performance with the subtitles at the same time if you're not a native Japanese speaker. I felt like
right,
the meanings of the song like really hit me, and I got the impression that Hikaru did the subtitles because I know for a lot of past stuff, especially in recent releases since like Hatsukoi came out, maybe after Phantom. I don't really remember exactly, but Hikaru noted that they were starting to do their own translations that were being posted publicly, whether on like the music videos or. So I feel like Hikaru like provided the translations for this.
probably yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah. I noted on the song Ben Parker is the guitarist, and he is the English guy who he's been working with Hikaru since Phantom, I think.
Right, right.
Um, he he doesn't really have much of a part in this song, but he got super into it, and he was like lifting his guitar and he was like waving it around and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also noted they made full use of the lighting display again for this
Right.
song.
Yep.
Can you hear my cat snoring?
No.
My house is so loud right now. She's like curled up right next to my computer and just snoring away.
Yeah. Oh, that's adorable.
But yeah, that's all I noted for that song. I really like that performance too.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's followed up with Kiss and Cry. I
Mm-hmm.
have here the hand clapping is super cute that they do in this song.
Mm-hmm.
It's super cute. I really noted the drums in this performance for
Oh
some
yeah.
reason. I really
Mm-hmm.
liked them. I love how this song echoes hotel lobby in I guess the melody is kind of similar. I've said
Right.
it a couple of times, but it's very reminiscent of hotel lobby. Uh, it's a nice nod to Exodus, although some actual songs from Exodus, or this is the one, would have been a bit preferable to just having like a
Mm-hmm.
random flashback to hotel lobby. It would
Mm-hmm.
be nice to have a full performance of it, but
Mm-hmm.
literally the only two times we get that, unfortunately, are in Utada United and in the Flesh. So
Yes. For the This Is the One songs, yeah.
yeah.
Um
And then the only other thing that I had here was that the blue and orange lighting is a mood.
yeah, I noticed that too. Um I get the impression, I think I said this from Left in the Dark too, but I got the same impression that Hikaru really likes performing this song. It's a really fun song live.
Right,
And they included the wrist cutting lyrics, the original lyrics, which
right.
were replaced for the commercial that originally came out with this song.
Yes,
Um, and it made me recall to that recent interview with Hikaru where they admitted that they were actually self-harming after their debut,
right.
and it made
Yeah,
me like see that part of the song differently. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I didn't think of that at the time because I was just kind of so focused on like, okay, making sure I didn't miss anything, making sure I'm got
Hmm.
all the notes down and
Right.
all of that. But yeah, that's definitely it's so sad that anyone gets to that point where they do have to self harm,
For sure, yeah.
and that happened to Hickey. It's devastating,
Hmm.
but I think it's really brave of them to even admit that.
Yeah. And I think it's really important too that people take note that Hikaru has come forward and said that that time of debuting as like a 16-year-old was really traumatic because
Yeah,
at that time back in the 90s, like we as a society kind of worship like child stars and
right,
youth.
Right.
And it's really important that we're kind of changing that viewpoint now, I think.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's a lot more emphasis nowadays on, boundaries and personal space
yeah.
and all of that and mental health in a
Hmm.
way that there wasn't in the 1990s or the early 2000s.
Hmm.
I mean, you look at the renaissance that I'm going to age myself a little bit here too, but you look at the renaissance that Lindsay Lohan has had recently and
Hmm.
how troubled she was
Hmm.
back in the day, and just how the media and everything kind of it it enabled that essentially to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Where she was where she here was someone who was crying out for help,
Hmm.
and they were just calling her this like party girl,
Yeah.
uh, out of control, wild child, and it was just like have you no empathy?
Hmm. No, we just used to treat celebrities like punching bags.
Oh yes,
Like they were totally dehumanized.
yeah. I feel so terrible for a lot of the celebrities that uh, came up during those years because it could not have been fun at all.
Hmm. No.
And now we have celebrities like Chapel Roan standing up and actually setting those kinds of boundaries, and that's so important. And I think Chapel,
Yeah,
as an aside, is just fucking brilliant. I love her.
I love her.
Favorite Chapel Roan song? Let's.
um, I don't know.
I mean, they're all good, so there's no wrong answer. But
Yeah.
for me,
The
it's either.
first Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, for me, my favorite's probably either My Kink is Karma or
Mhm.
Good Luck Babe.
Yeah, Good Luck Babe is one of mine, but the one that always is stuck in my head is Pink Pony Club.
Yes,
So
that song is queer as fuck, and I love it. Well, most of her songs, to be fair, are queer as fuck, but
yeah, an ice cream shop here for Pride Month released a bunch of original ice cream flavors, um, named after an
if one of them was the Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna die.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, that is so
Yeah.
cool.
There was like 5 of them that were named after Chapel Rowan songs and lyrics, and they had vegan options too. So we went there and like got our our Chapel Rowan ice cream. It was really good.
Love that.
Yeah. Um, Dylan says I'm caught between Pink Pony Club and Good Luck Babe. I know they're both so good
Yeah.
and hot to go. Like,
And then Whitney LV here has a really good comment here about. I always think about how the media made a mockery out of Britney Spears and her breakdown. That is probably the most extreme, devastating, and heartbreaking uh, example of the toxic celebrity culture that existed at that time. It's just like I was like 10 years old, 10, 12 years old,
mhm,
and I'm just thinking like what is wrong with I just remember thinking as a 10, 12-year-old boy, like what is wrong with these people? Like she clearly needs help and they're not
mhm,
helping her. Like what the
mhm. Yeah, if you guys haven't read Brittany's book, definitely check it out.
Yeah,
It'll get you in a rage, but
I listened to it on audio. Fantastic.
yeah, I did too. Justin Timberlake, you are dead to me. You're a piece of
Yeah.
garbage.
I mean, his career is pretty much dying anyway.
Hmm.
His big comeback album
Yeah,
really did nothing at all. So
yeah.
karma.
Hmm.
Chapel would have a field day with him. Yeah,
Oh, Matthew, you introduced Dylan to Chaperone.
I did. Yes,
Yes.
and I am one of the people that can say I knew Chapel for about 6 months before she blew up and was absolutely everywhere.
Oh, nice.
So yes,
Yeah. Okay, not important, but the only other thing I wrote down was I really like the ad-libbing on Kiss and Cry,
yes,
especially near the end.
I agree. Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Okay, so next song.
yeah.
Alrighty. The next song is another from Ultra Blue. It's always been one of my favorites because, again, ballad ho and proud. This is Daraka no Negai ga Kanao Koro. Hopefully I said that correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Like I said, this has always been one of my favorites from Ultra Blue, and Hickey gives a simplistic but beautiful performance of it here. The only drawback that this song has ever had for me, because I think it's absolutely stunning in every way on like a musical level. The
Mhm.
only drawback for this song for me is how like tied to her first husband it was tied to their first
Mm,
husband it is because it was the theme for he Kazuaki Kiria directed uh, one of the live
Pastor.
action passion films,
Mhm.
and that's what this song was a theme for. And Kazuaki Kiria, especially now, just gives me the creeps
Yeah.
with how like desperately he's pining after Hickey even after all these years, and like the fact that they met them when they were super young and
Mhm.
he was already like a grown ass man. Just
Yeah.
it's so creepy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, I believe Hikaru was 19 when they got married, and Kazuaki was in his 30s. I don't know his exact age. I believe it was in his 30s. Um,
Yeah, and then they had met some years before that because they had been working together for a couple of years. So
yeah.
it's just kind of uh yeah, shudders.
Mhm. Yep. I really liked this performance. I was amazed by the vocals. They sounded really similar to the record.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
and I really liked when the band kind of kicked in after the bridge and Hickey just performed really well on the high notes. It was great. And
Yes, absolutely.
even though it's like very sad, really sad song, it's about like infidelity, but
Right.
yeah, it was really good.
There's a couple of comments here. Side note, this
Yeah.
is completely random, but does anyone know what
Un imagina.
translates to from Kiss and Cry? I've been researching it for years and no luck.
What's the what part is that from?
Yeah, we're gonna need some more details on that one.
Yeah, there's subtitles on the live, so
Yes,
we can
if
go
you
back and
watch,
find out.
yeah. Uh, and then Dylan here says, yeah, the fact that he's still pining for her after all of these years, it's so weird and creepy. Yes.
Yeah, I'm so curious what Hickey thinks now that Hickey is in her 40s and looking back on like Hikaru's second husband was also younger, so they had an age gap, and like
Right.
now that Hikaru has a son too, like if if her perspective on that has changed on that first marriage. But
Yeah. It's definitely something to think about, and like I don't think it would be as socially accepted now as it probably I don't know. Was it socially accepted back then? I don't know.
More so than now, yeah. Especially when it was an older male with a much younger female. It was
True. Yeah.
very much expected.
Uh, that tracks, unfortunately. Dear God.
Mhm. um, the next song is we have a long break after the
Yes.
song. So we got an
Yes.
animated break, and my background's in animation, so I was extremely geeked about that. They got a whole animation studio to do this, like
Yes.
animated intermission here.
And very Kuma-centric intermission. So this would have been
Mhm.
where I would have put Boku wa Kuma. If I was going to put anything at all. If I was going to use that song in any way, this is where I would have put it.
Yes, that would have worked.
Yeah.
Totally.
And the one thing that Dylan brought up is that this is very much kind of like a continuation of the opening from Wildlife.
Yeah, totally. With
Very,
the
very
Kuma
much so.
suit
Yeah.
going into space and then
Yes.
Hikaru taking off the Kuma head.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that bit. And then Hikaru is doing a costume change backstage during that time.
Yes. So we get into Bad Mode, which is the next song. And I will always, the country music fan in me, like if you know me at all, you know I grew up on country music. I'm not as big a fan of it now as I used to be, but I do like a lot of the older storytelling kind of stuff from like the 70s to the 90s and
Mm-hmm.
early 2000s. So the country music fan in me will always love like the country twinge to the instrumentation in this song. You can hear it
Mm-hmm.
especially in like the opening notes. And
Mm-hmm.
then as you noted, there was a costume change. The fabled rainbow dress makes its appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy to see this because it was like a giant gay pride flag just all wrapped up into one dress. I'm like, yes.
I know.
I don't even wear dresses. That's not my style. But I would wear this in a heartbeat.
Love that.
And
Oh,
then
we have. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna interject there. We have an update from Helen on the "Kiss and Cry" lyrics, where Hikaru is saying "ma in janai," so that
it's
means
okay, don't stress.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. Arigato.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Dylan said, "Oh yeah, that rainbow dress. I told Matthew I would wear it just to go to the grocery store."
Yes. I think we all would wear it if we're being 100% completely honest with ourselves. It is so beautiful.
Yeah, it made me realize that Hikaru looks so good in pink and purple because the color part is the like purple to pink transition, and like on the close-up shots, I was like, "Ooh, it's such a nice color combination."
Yes. And then what else do I have here? Hickey's rising on like some kind of a pedestal at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of this performance too, and it's kind of like a phoenix. It's
Oh.
so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lyrics to the song uh, are incredibly modern and sweet and kind of romantic too, in a kind of like a dark way. Like
Mm-hmm.
any song that has "Here's a diazepam, we could each take half of" is a little bit dark,
Yeah.
but it's still like sweet and romantic, and uh, I love the lighting in this performance too, and the background on the screens. And I have here again, the dress is fucking everything.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite outfit of the tour.
Yeah.
I got the sense that Hickey was really enjoying this song too. It's a like fun performance for everyone, and I always gotta love when Hickey says, "Hope I don't fuck it up again" into the mic.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
um, but yeah, it it was definitely a welcome addition to the set list.
For sure. I'm sad that this is like the only. I think it's. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, it's the only bad mode track that we get on this set list, and that makes me
Mm,
sad. I would have loved like Find Love, but
One Last Kiss
oh
also
wait,
bad
yes,
mode.
yeah.
And
Okay.
Kimi ni Mutu.
Oh yeah, for some reason I thought those were on. I thought one of them was on Hatsukoi. Like my
hmm
brain is tired right now, so
No, it's
it's
all
like
good.
almost 1 o'clock at night. So
Those two songs have like a Hatsukoi feeling to them too. Like they could go on either one, I feel.
right.
Dylan said about the rainbow dress, it's such a successor to the fluffy pastel dress Hiki wore at the start of Wildlife. Yes, they're like the three genders, the Utada United like prom dress, and then the Wildlife dress, and then now the rainbow dress.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, Helen said, does it take long to get into it? I'm not sure. It does kind of have like a wrapped look, but Hickey explained during one of the MCs that the way they make the material was like a eco-friendly like fashion, and it has this texture to it that's from how they create the material.
Yeah, I have that whole MC written down here. They called it what do they call this material? Brewed protein,
Mm-hmm.
which is fucking fascinating.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Yeah. Like if that dress is sold anywhere, oh my god, I can just imagine it flying off of shelves in Japan after this.
Yeah, doesn't Hickey even say during the concert, "This is the last time I'm gonna wear this," and it's really sad. I was like,
Yeah, I have
no.
that in here too. Yeah. So anything further to add on bad mode?
uh, nope.
Okie dokie. So the next track is Anata,
hmm
which I think this is the only Hatsukoi song on the set list, but
Um, yeah.
yes, I think so.
hmm
So the lighting in this performance is stunning, and really the only other thing of note that I have like in my notes that you probably uh, that like I expect that we'll have a lot of the same opinions about this track, but the only other thing that I have noted here is that if I were Hickey's son, I would be so fucking honored that my
hmm
parent loved me this much that they wrote this song for me.
Yeah, I can imagine that that's how he will feel when he grows up, but maybe like now at his age, like his mom is just like cringe and embarrassing.
Yeah, I guess.
um, like my friends have sons that are like right around his age as well,
Hmm.
and they just are roasting their parents all the time. So yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
Whitney with some stuff here in the comments.
about Utada's marriage
Yes.
to Francesco.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. I truly think there were some cracks in the second marriage too. Hickey married her second husband sometime after her mother's passing. Yeah,
hmm
I truly think she was very vulnerable, and he was there at that right time. It was a blessing in disguise, uh, though she has her son. Yes.
hmm Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily an unpopular opinion because they're divorced now.
Yeah, I don't think it's unpopular. No.
But
But,
I feel like any celebrity marriage is going to be fraught
yeah,
with something.
I mean, marriage just in general is it's difficult uh, at times, and then you add this layer of like fame and celebrity to it,
hmm
and it's a whole other experience and a whole other world.
Yeah.
And that chasm can be really difficult to navigate, especially if you have one partner who is the famous one, and then the other who is a bit more like a normal everyday person.
Yeah.
And not to say that people who are famous aren't normal people,
Hmm.
but there's a level of scrutiny that comes with that I
Oh
don't think the average person is really truly uh, equipped to handle. Uh,
yeah. Hmm.
and then they kind of just get thrown in off the deep end at a
Hmm.
certain point, and it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, there was that whole scandal with them where it got out that Francesco had, I think, left his job, and there was all these like tabloid headlines about how he's a bum and he's a deadbeat, and now like Hickey's supporting him, and Hickey actually came out and said that like my partner's income is like the last thing that matters to me. So
Right.
yeah, that's an example of like how much scrutiny you would be under, and
Yeah. And I mean, before this, he was just like a bartender in
yeah.
London, and so it
Hmm.
was just like, wow, okay.
Hmm.
So
Um, but it sounds like they still have a working relationship. Like they co-parent, and Hikaru has
yes,
talked about learning Italian to speak with his family more, and
right.
their son to like communicate with them more. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad they seem to be mostly civil,
Hmm.
if nothing else.
Yeah. Oh, and
Especially,
Francesco supported Hickey on Laughter in the Dark. He was there for opening night and like posted about it on his Instagram and everything.
were they still married at the time, or
No, they were long divorced after that.
okay?
Yeah, or before that.
Yeah.
Um, so going back to Anata,
Yes.
I thought the low notes in the song sounded really wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the opener for Laughter in the Dark was Anata, so I kind of like that performance a bit better.
Yes.
But yeah, I can see why this one was on the set list again.
Yes. Absolutely.
Helen, your daughter is 9 years old too. You wish they could have a multilingual play date. That would be awesome.
Yes.
That's very cute. And also get your daughter into Utada Hikaru.
Yes. Yes. And then Dylan here has something to say. I honestly think that Sakura Nagashi was like Hiki longing for a child, and this probably only intensified after she lost her mom. Yeah, I agree. Sakura Nagashi, by the way, is honestly one of the most beautiful songs Hiki has ever done.
Hmm.
Still to this day, it is just stunning
Yeah, really
and
moving.
so emotional. So,
Hmm.
oh, she has no choice. already
Already
calling
calling her
her
Hiki.
already calling her Hickey. She saw me cry when I didn't win tickets. LOL.
Oh,
Uh,
so sad. Um, did you have anything else to add about Anata?
not really, no. So, if
Okay.
you have anything else?
No.
Okie dokie. So, there's a MC here. We've mentioned it a little bit briefly, talking about the rainbow dress and how that was made.
Right.
But there's an MC here about how, and Hickey talks about how they've suddenly remembered that this is the last day of the tour.
Hmm.
They had forgotten that while they were performing.
Hmm.
And so they feel a bit sad that the tour is ending, and then that's when that line comes in about this is the last time I'll wear this, right?
Hmm.
Referring to the dress, and again they talk about how it was made, the fabric. Uh, Hickey actually watched a video of it while it was being made, and they thought it was so cool. Hickey expresses gratitude that everyone was there at the performance for the 25th anniversary tour. Talks about the various way the tickets were available since there was no fan club. The fact that Hickey doesn't have a fan club 25 plus years into her
Hmm.
into their career is just stunning to me.
No, but it's so hicky though. Like it just totally it doesn't make sense, but it does. Like it's
Yes.
Hickey's aesthetic to not have a
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. It doesn't make sense, but it does. That's exactly how I would put it.
fan.
Uh, so they appreciate all the ways that fans try to get tickets and how far uh, they may have traveled to come to the tour and all the arrangements that had to be made with like flights and hotels and getting someone to watch the kids and taking time off work and
hmm
all of that stuff. And then they say, this is not just about my 25 years. I'm not here to be celebrated. I'm not the type who enjoys being the star at the party.
hmm
So this time it's not about me. It's all of our 25 years
hmm
together, looking back and celebrating and maybe saying, well done to ourselves. They acknowledge that their career would be impossible if not for the fans, and they're happy to be in that space, in that moment, sharing the same feelings with the fans. They thank the audience and acknowledge the myriad things that all of us have been through in 25 years of life. There's been like happy times and good times and tough times and
hmm
all of that. So, but step by step, they brought Hickey here to this moment and they're grateful. And I thought it was just a really sweet, really heartfelt little MC that they did.
Yeah, it was really inspiring too. I wasn't that the MC where Hickey says like something about when you've lost something or something's been taken from you, you realize how much it gave to you and something like that. It was just kind of like this inspiring lead into
Right.
the next
Yeah.
song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Um,
do you want to introduce the next song?
sure. So the next one is Hanatabo Kimi
Yes. Uh, this song for me is still heartbreaking.
ni. Yeah.
It's still such a bittersweet but hopeful expression of grief. And I have here that Hickey's subtle performance really highlights the song's power.
hmm
You really felt like grounded in that moment and connected to the emotion in the lyric and in their voice. And oh, God.
Yeah. Um, I felt like it was a little bit of a different experience than the Laughter in the Dark performance of that song. The Laughter in the Dark performance is very emotional. Hickey has like tears in their eyes.
Right. Hmm.
It's not quite as sad as Manatsu no Toriyame,
Yes.
the
No.
other like morning song that's paired with Hanataba.
Yeah. And
Um,
I think I mentioned that in my review of it at the time, where Manatsu is more like grieving in the sense of like trying to understand and just being like really torn up about loss. And
mhm.
then Hanataba is the flip side to that, where it's still bittersweet, but it's a little bit more hopeful
Yeah.
and healing.
Mhm. um, excuse me, jeez. Um, I thought the translation of the opening line was interesting because it was different than what I've seen before by other fans, I think, where um, the opening line is translated as "You never wear makeup, but on that day you did," or something along, not verbatim, but
Right,
so I've seen it translated before as "You wearing makeup that doesn't suit you," and then another fan commented saying that's referring to Utada's mother's funeral,
right,
where the body has been made up by the person working at the funeral home.
right.
And yeah, it, I don't
Yes.
know. That song always hits me because I've had the same experience now since that song came out.
Yeah.
And
And I just recently recently.
Mhm.
I lost my grandfather.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this one really got to me this time because I just was thinking of him,
Mhm.
and then yeah, it got to me.
Yeah. Um, Dylan, I'm so sorry for your loss of your friend.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Uh, yeah. So this performance, I felt it felt a little bit more steady than
right,
Laughter in the Dark. Laughter in the Dark was still very much in this place of mourning. And I went
very,
back and I watched
very much so.
a clip today just to compare, to like refresh on what happened in that tour. But I realized that Hikaru was wearing black like throughout the show, and
Hmm.
it comes across as so serious compared to the visuals of this show.
Right.
And yeah, it definitely was a different experience, even though it's the same song. But
Yes, absolutely. Two similar but very different vibes, and I
mhm,
think that's really symbolic of the fact that they're in two very different places in terms of their grief. Like grief like that never goes away, ever.
mhm,
It
yeah,
just never does. Especially when it's someone really close to you. But
mhm,
I think there's a certain amount of distance to it that, as you said, Laughter in the Dark was very much still in that period of more acute mourning.
mhm,
With this performance, it feels like there's a little bit more distance between the tragedy.
mhm,
So I think that's kind of reflective in,
right,
in like the steadiness of this performance compared to Laughter in the Dark.
right, exactly. Anything else you want to add about that song?
Um, not. Nope. Nope.
Okay. Do you want to introduce the next one, or you want me to?
Sure. The next one I'm gonna probably really butcher. Yeah, because it's just like it's so like it's long. Nani mo demonai hana is the next song. Uh,
Naniro
the
demo nai hana.
yes, the use of lights in this performance is absolutely brilliant. And as this
Mhm,
is the very first live performance of this song that most of us are seeing, Hickey's decision to keep things simple and really rely on the lighting and the visual effects to kind of set the atmosphere was the right one.
mhm.
I think this was a really, really lovely performance. So I was very happy to see it included on here.
Yeah,
I,
for sure.
I knew that it would be, but it's just it's nice regardless.
I should have looked this up, but I thought we had a TV performance of this song.
We might have, but I haven't seen it, so it's supposed to be. This is
Uh,
the first time I was hearing the song live. So
yeah, maybe not. I couldn't remember all the songs. I thought we got one of each of the new songs on like a live TV performance. But yeah, the I thought this was an interesting placement after Hanataba because they both have flower in the title, and
right,
they're both about this ambiguous type of flower.
right.
Um,
This one's a flower with no color, and then the Hanataba's
yeah,
yeah,
the tear colored
the tear
bouquet of
colored
flowers.
bouquet. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, and I always was a little confused about the meaning behind the song. Um, but the translation in this case, I felt helped me understand it a lot more.
yeah, I agree.
And Oh, go
Because
ahead. Where?
a lot of times when I'm listening to J-pop on Apple Music,
Hmm.
which is the superior streaming service to Spotify in terms of audio. Oh my god, so good. But they'll just have the uh, like Japanese lyrics, like written in the Japanese scripts,
Hmm.
and so it can be difficult to kind of understand without like subtitles or looking up a translation online.
Hmm.
What songs are saying at certain points, unless I've already like I know what all of Crystal K's songs mean. Obviously, uh,
Hmm.
I've looked them up to the point where I could quote them verbatim. But yeah, for something like this, that's a newer song. The subtitles definitely helped in terms of really getting the meaning of the song across, and I agree with that for sure.
The mix for this sounded really great, and you know how at the end of that song there's kind of this distortion that leads it out and kind of like cuts it off.
Right.
The visuals on the screen seemed inspired by that, like they were describing. Um, yeah, they
Yeah.
look kind of like TV distortion or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, this is an opinion.
Whitney, you're not a fan of the song.
No, yeah, you're not a fan of it. The lyrics are beautiful, but I still, uh, that's fair.
Yeah, it took a minute to grow on me, but I do really like it now.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a grow for me. I loved the lyrics from first listen,
Hmm.
uh, but the song is a little bit plain in terms of its melody and instrumentation. So
Yeah, I found it was too similar to the previous song that came out.
yeah, I would agree.
Um, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but I know, I know in my mind, like
The video.
yes, yeah, I know in my mind.
Helen, you and your daughter listened to the song at bedtime.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
Yeah. Um, oh, Dylan, Matthew was a rock for me through all that. I find myself leaning on him so much as my best friend during painful times. Aw, that's so great for you too.
I know.
Um, Helen said, I focus a lot on the believe in yourself moments, as in, you gave me a flower of no color, but actually you will be able to see the color, but only when you start to believe in yourself first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I found that so interesting too, and how that tied into the colors song,
Hmm.
how
Right.
that's about an unknown color as well.
Right.
And I find this like there's this theme in a lot of Hikaru songs about this unknown feeling, and there's this effort from Hikaru to try and bring out that unknown feeling and describe what's happening on the inside to people on the outside.
Yes.
Whitney said, Dareka no Nagai no Kanakoro was more better layered ballad.
That's fair. That's
Mm-hmm.
fair. Yeah.
Dylan, yeah, the video is very odd and interesting, and I'm still dying to know how they made it.
Yes. Yes.
Um, yeah, what else? I think that was everything for that song. How about you?
Yeah. That was everything for me too.
Okay.
We're making excellent time of this. I'm so
Really? I was just looking at the clock. It's been 2 hours.
yeah. I mean, considering
But
our Laughter in the Dark review went for like 4 hours and
hours? Yeah. This is a long performance too. I kept
yeah.
taking note of how many songs like we were in, and I was like, "Whoa, this might be Hikaru's longest tour." I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Like if Hickey were to do like a really career spawning tour, it would be like we would literally be talking about it for like 6 to 12 hours probably.
Oh god, I would lose my voice after that. Um,
Yeah.
the next song is "One Last Kiss."
Hmm. So what do I have for this one? Okay. Had to refocus my phone for a second. It fell asleep on me.
Yeah.
Uh, the lighting and the birds on the screen are immaculate in this
Mhm.
performance. I thought they really added to like the overall like vibe and atmosphere uh,
Mhm.
and then I'm not admittedly this is not my favorite song.
Mhm.
I don't mind it, but it's kind of one of those where I'm just like, well, okay, I could take this or leave it, but
Mhm. It's kind of unique for in Hikaru's discography, I find, for how fast the verses are.
yes, I agree. Yeah.
Um, I feel like Hikaru's kind of showing off in those and performing it live.
Probably. I mean, if there's ever a time that you're gonna show off like that, then
Mhm. Oh, Dylan, you didn't even notice our stream was over 4 hours for laughter in the dark. That's good.
bless your heart. Oh god,
um,
I think I slept literally the day after we did that stream. I think I slept for like 24 hours, and
really
then,
took it
and,
out of you.
and my throat was so sore for like 2 or 3 days
I
afterwards.
know my voice is so raspy. Um, so yeah, the like you're saying, the birds on the screen was one of my favorite visuals for the whole show, and
Yes.
I had seen pictures of that because the staff were posting a few pictures during that performance,
Hmm.
and it just looked so cool. I was like, oh, what song is that going to be for?
Right.
Um, but yeah, it was really a really cool visual, and Hikaru seemed really comfortable in the vocals.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Oh, Herc Locker. Hey, I joined late, but I just want to say hi and love your content. Thank you so much, Herc
Yeah.
Locker. Thank you so much for joining in the chat too. Doesn't matter if you joined in late. Very happy to have you, and thank you for your
Very
comment.
happy to have you here. Thank you. Well, I assume the content thing was more meant for Emily than myself. I don't really make content anymore, but
Well, Instagram counts.
yeah, I guess so. But yeah.
Yeah. Anything else on that one?
Nope. Well, I'm surprised how succinct a lot of some of my notes are for this tour compared to
Hmm.
like I have notes where some of the songs are really long and then notes where they're really short and it's just like
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
And then we got another MC break.
Yes, we did.
Mhm.
I don't think I actually like very briefly we did.
Mhm.
Where they were just I think it was just a couple of lines, so I didn't really make note of it. I don't know if you did, but
The only thing I wrote is Hikaru noted that it was September 1st and it was still hot out. They don't like the
right,
summer, they like
right.
the winter. And then Hikaru moved on to say that they were having the most fun they've ever had on a tour, which was really touching.
Yeah.
And it's evident in the performance, as we already said.
Yeah, that's completely evident. Yeah. Absolutely. So the next track, are you ready to move on? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, so the next track is Kimi ni Muchu. Again, this is one of my favorites from Bad Mode. It's a very ethereal performance. I love like the fog and the turquoise lighting. It just all comes together, and I'm just like, oh, I
Mhm.
really enjoy it. So
Yeah. It sounded great. It looked great. It
yes,
was the first time, even though it's near the end of the show, where I noticed that there were screens under all of the performers. Like the actual floor has
with
screens.
screams, yeah,
Yeah.
And there's a really cool effect. I think it's in the encore during Stay Gold. Uh,
Oh yeah.
I made note of that, but
Okay.
yeah, there's a, it's just really cool how the screens kind of extend down for into the floor. I hadn't noticed that before,
Hmm.
and then uh, it pops up and like that. And it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
they really went all out for the production value on this show, and you can tell.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah. You'll see. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm really impressed by this tour. But when you see the documentary, you see how much they actually, how many people worked on this, and how much they actually put into it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I really love this song. This is entered into among my all-time favorite songs by Hikaru.
Oh, that is
I know
big.
that's big praise, yeah. During the performance, I wished Hikaru would move more. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
like,
They were pretty stationary for
yeah,
this.
they kind of just stayed in the center. Like you were saying with earlier songs, Hikaru kind of goes all the way across the stage and comes back.
Right.
Um, but oh, I wanted to note too that that takes a lot of like physical fitness to be able to do that.
Yes.
Walking
Like
and singing and like steadily singing, because if you
right.
try it like just a normal person, your voice will not be steady. And Lady Gaga said she trains for that for her shows by running on the treadmill and singing at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of singers use that kind of trick,
Hmm.
the treadmill and singing at the same time, but yeah,
Yeah, so you have to
I
physically.
was I was exhausted just watching her. Like this is not a small stage.
You're right, yeah.
It's not a small stage at all.
um oh, Whitney is disagreeing with you.
Oh,
I love her more dancey and vibrant tracks. One Last Kiss is very mellow in the beginning, but when it builds, it's beautiful.
that's fair. To each their own. And you know I respect you immensely. So
um, I totally know what you mean, Whitney, though. Like the how it sonically builds. That song is really, really great.
yes,
An A.G. Cook song, I believe.
yeah.
Um,
I have a love hate relationship with a lot of the stuff they do for Hikaru. I
oh,
like
really?
most of it, and
Hmm.
but then there was this one remix they did if on here. Let me go into Apple Music and actually find what this remix was of. I know it was
Oh, the one that was on the album?
yes.
Yeah, it was a Kingdom Hearts song, wasn't it?
Uh,
It's like Don't Think Twice or something.
I'm trying. Face My Fears.
Yeah,
That one, oh god, legitimately gave me a migraine. I could not.
I know. I hate it.
I know.
I like his other songs with Hikaru, and then I tried listening to his music, but it's just not really my thing.
Right. It's all love. That's right. Love ya.
um, so yeah, it takes actual physical training to be able to do that. I've seen other vocal coaches where they advise an artist to do their like walking and dancing whatever in between their vocals, and then you stop and like hit a pose and then do your singing and then like move. But yeah, another very impressive thing. But
Very much so.
So that was the end of the main set list.
Yes. And then we had a. I thought it was a two. I'd seen this like 10 times prior to last night when I watched it with Dylan. I was so tired last night. I thought it was two songs. We got a free song encore here, people.
Yeah, so
We are getting fed.
I believe all the other shows were only two songs, and then Hikaru added one just for
Yes,
this show for the recording.
very much so. Yeah. So the first encore track that we got is the live debut, the tour debut of Electricity.
Hmm.
So the outfit for this encore is it's very cute, it's very casual, as most of these things are. but I thought it was really really cute. The dancers on the stage and their choreography is really the most visually interesting part of this performance.
Hmm.
Like I was trying to figure out what the dancers were doing half the time, and I'm just like, I don't get it, but whatever it is, it's cool as fuck.
Yeah, Hikaru calls them aliens after the song.
Yes, aliens. And then I loved the saxophone solo in this,
Yeah,
which this is the only song that the saxophone player only played on this one song, and they came all the way
I know.
to the cover to do that. And I'm just like, oh wow.
Must have paid well. um, Helen, thank you. I loved your review of the song to Wikipedia. The Little Mermaid connection was cute. Didn't realize. So that was for Kimi Mitsu.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Dylan says, Emily, I blame you for the fact that I can't get the Little Mermaid alliteration out of my head whenever I think of Bad Mode's tracks. You know what? Even Hikaru said it on an Instagram live, so it's not just me.
Mhm. Yeah.
That Hikaru really loves that movie and that part of the song, that
Right.
part of the world song.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so Electricity, I can tell Hikaru really likes the song, but I think they actually said it at some point that they loved the song
Hmm.
when the collection came out, the album came out, and the crowd seems to really like it too.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
this song, compared to the earlier songs, Hikaru seems much more comfortable singing them.
Right.
Um, she's definitely writing songs to be in her like current range, where her voice is lower,
Right.
a little huskier, and like as a
Yeah.
teenager, her voice is like naturally much higher. But
Right.
the dancers, so one of them is Aoi Yamada, and she
Hmm.
was in the First Love drama on Netflix.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, so she,
Yeah.
it, yeah, she's a dancer in that show as well, and her co-star for the dance, I believe her name is Suki. So they have like a little. I looked it up after. They have this little dance duo where they, I guess, create choreography together called Aoi Tsuki.
Oh, that's cute.
Um, yeah. So, and this isn't even the first time that Hikaru has appeared with Aoi Yamada. They did a TV performance together too, where they danced together. Um,
What song was that for? I'm
I
trying to
don't remember.
remember.
I don't. Yeah, I haven't been able to keep all the TV performances straight. But
Hmm.
I found Hikaru's dancing very
Yes.
sexy to the song. Definitely was feeling herself and like got into the dance during the instrumentals and yeah, very cool
Yeah, for
performance.
sure. And there was this part in the dance where they were like circling around Hickey, and it was just like, okay, yes. Like I
Yeah,
don't like I don't understand everything that's going on with the movements of your bodies, but whatever this is, yes.
yeah. Helen said, I was a bit disappointed with the outfit paired with electricity. I thought it served more. Yeah, so the encore outfit, if that's what you mean, yeah, it's like the casual wear, like wide
Yeah,
leg jeans with a tank top.
yeah. The encore outfits are always a little bit less flashier than these main set list outfits. Uh,
Hmm.
that's just a thing in Japanese pop and in most performances. Really, it doesn't even have to be
Yeah. Um,
exclusively Japanese pop, but
I expected Hikaru to wear the concert like tour shirts, like this one,
right.
because like that's what they're wearing for the last two tours.
Hmm.
But Whitney says electricity is an experience. I like the song, but I find the chorus a little jarring, which is what stopped me from listening to it more. I had the exact same experience. It took a long
Hmm.
time to grow on me with the like It's like
Yeah, yeah. It, it's like the closest comparable I can think of right now, like just off the top of my head, is like Namie's "Hands on Me" with that
Mhm.
like alarm clock, like
Oh, God, I hate that song.
with that alarm clock kind of sound.
Mhm.
Very kind of similar vibe with this, where this took a long time to grow on me.
Yeah. We talked about it a bit on the I'm So Popular podcast episode too, where Zach was saying like a Western artist would never like get away with that, I think.
Right.
But um, Whitney said Electricity's production is great, and in my opinion, it's the best of the new songs and re-recordings on science fiction by far. Oh,
Very nice. We love being treated to an LV mini review.
for sure. I'm so happy to hear your opinions on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Um, was there anything else on that song you would like to?
Uh, Not for electricity, no.
Okay. Um, the next song is "Stay Gold," which was the bonus song we got for this performance, and the rest of the tour didn't get apparently.
Yeah. Again, wish we had gotten this in the main concert, but I'm happy to get it at all. It's one of my favorite songs off of Hard Station. I love the twinkling lights on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and then on the floor, there's like the shimmering gold, which
Mm-hmm.
is so fitting on so many different levels because of this song. Yes.
Yes.
So I loved everything about this, but I'm just like I'm so mad. This is not like this should have been where Boku Wakuma was.
Mm-hmm.
Where Boku no Kuma was.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it really should have been, and then where this is right now should have been where Somewhere Near Marseille is.
Oh yeah, that would have been nice. Mm-hmm.
And then I have no issue with the last track being what it is of the last track of the encore being what it is because it basically bookends the first track in a really full circle kind of way. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so like Stay Gold should have been where Boku Wakuma was, or Boku no Kuma. I always get the wa or no. I always get that mixed up. Uh, so that should have been where that is, and then this should have been where Summer Near Marseille is
Okay, yeah,
for sure.
I can totally see that. I thought the song was an unexpected choice because it was not a huge single, and it was. I don't know if it's a fan favorite, and I don't think it was on the science fiction collection either.
Hold on. Again, Apple Music is my best friend.
Yeah.
Science fiction collection. Trying to see.
Actually, overall, there's a lot of choices on here that they're not on the.
Yeah, like yeah, they're not on the compilation. It's not on the compilation itself. Stay Gold's not on there.
Mm-hmm.
Can You Keep a Secret is on the compilation, but it's not included here.
Right.
Prisoner of Love is included on the compilation. It's not
Mm-hmm.
included here. Flavor of Life is included on
Mm-hmm.
the compilation. It's not included here.
Sakura drops. I would have
Sakura
loved to hear
Drops,
that.
yeah. Gold Mata Ao Himade,
Yeah, that's the song I was trying to remember the title of
yeah.
a few minutes ago. Yeah.
And then let's see.
Nijikan dake no
Ni-
bakansu.
yeah, the fact that we never have like I think we've gotten a live performance of this with Sheena and Hickey on a TV show, but the fact that this wasn't in like the Laughter in the Dark tour,
I know.
especially when Sheena was there, like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, girl, get your ass up on stage. No excuse for that.
Bye, Helen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yes.
Um, thank you so much. I love that you were able to join us, and make sure you put on some Hickey in the car if
Yes.
you are driving
Bye.
there.
Thank you.
Bye. Um, so yeah, some of the set list choices were unexpected.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it makes sense that they wouldn't just do the compilation album exactly how it was.
Right. I'm kind of glad they did. I mean, there are songs that I wish maybe had the set list been longer would have been included, but for what we've got, it's a pretty solid representation of both the set list and also maybe some personal favorites of Hickey's or just other big songs of theirs. So
Yeah, that
overall,
makes
I
sense.
was quite happy with the set list and the balance of songs. And
Hmm. And then the last song we got is Automatic.
yes, which was last performed at Coachella.
Correct. Yeah.
Which it's still wild to me that Hickey was even invited to go there. I'm so
I
happy.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So like uh they actually brought out the yellow chair from the music video
Hmm.
for this performance, which I thought was really cool. Hickey
Yeah.
starts the song singing in it, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a nice bookend with Time Will Tell, and overall, there's not too much to be said about this song or any really performances of the song that I haven't already said before in other live
Hmm.
streams. So I don't really have too many notes on it, but
Yeah. The vocals were a little bit shaky. It's definitely like more of a challenging song, I think, for
yeah,
Hikaru right
and I
now.
mean, I think part of that is just like the natural aging process, and like you said, Hickey's voice is a bit lower. It's
Hmm.
it's been damaged before.
Hmm.
Finally, they took the time off to actually properly heal it
Yeah.
during their hiatus, so uh, it's not as affected as it otherwise maybe would be had they not gone on hiatus. But
Hmm.
you can definitely still hear it on some of Hickey's earlier material when they perform it live. Uh, that they are struggling a little bit to hit some of those notes
Hmm.
because it's not in their natural range anymore.
Yeah. And Hikaru said that their songs are really hard to
Yeah,
begin with. So um, this is the 24th song of the set, also. So
yeah,
definitely there's some like
a little bit of shakiness can be forgiven.
some fatigue, and um, I looked at Laughter in the Dark. I believe that was 21 songs
Hmm.
by the end of the encore. So I think this is the longest set by Hikaru. Um,
Of all the tours.
yeah,
Oh wow, because
and that makes sense because it's the 25 years of songs, right?
yeah,
So
I haven't seen all of the tours. Of course, I haven't seen Love Live or Bohemian Summer or Budokan.
okay, so the early ones,
Yeah,
yeah. Um, Despite the vocals, the crowd still really loved the performance.
yeah, of
Um,
course.
I think when you are at the show, you don't really notice that type of thing.
Right,
'Cause
because
again,
you're just so immersed in the experience of it.
yeah.
And to be fair, I was listening to I was watching this. Uh, uh, I've done all my watches. My hearing aids, these newer ones that I have, double as Bluetooth devices, so I don't need to use headphones or anything anymore. It
Okay,
just
nice.
streams right into my hearing aids, and it's
Mhm.
so awesome.
Yeah.
But it really creates kind of an immersive experience where it's just kind of like I can hear better, especially if it's on a certain setting
Mhm.
in term for music. But if I'm listening if I'm watching or listening to something on just like a universal setting, I don't really hear as much of the vocal wear or
Mhm.
fatigue that I would on like the music setting, right? So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
Interesting.
yeah, it's interesting. You have to kind of play around with the settings a little bit. I did one watch where I listened to it on Universal. I did one where I listened to it on music,
Oh, okay.
all that. So just kind of
Mhm.
gauge the difference and make sure I wasn't losing my marbles or
See which one sounds the best.
yes.
Um, yeah, so this song, it's falling into that category where like I don't really care to hear it live again, but I'm sure
I understand why it is still done, but
yeah, in the moment, it must be like it seems like the crowd is really into it. So yeah, and then at the end of the song, Hikaru takes their ear monitors out to hear the crowd's reaction
Right.
because you can't really hear them at all when you have those things in.
No, not at all.
And
You're just it's just the your vocal and the mix, right? So.
yeah, and there's a I've been learning a couple things about those ear monitors in recent years where Rina Sawayama did a little
Oh
video.
my god, sorry.
It's okay, where she like showed in the audio what she hears in her in-ear monitors,
Mhm.
and they had a mic at her performance that points to the crowd,
Mhm.
so that it ends up getting picked up by that feed that's going into her ear.
Mhm.
And then I went to a Bad Omens show a couple years ago where they had a Q&A, and I
Yeah.
asked the singers like, can you guys, because they all had in-ear monitors then, that like, can you hear us, because people are always yelling and like, like we're singing the screaming the songs, right? And I was like, can you actually hear us when you have the in-ear monitors? And he said, we do that where there's a mic pointing towards you guys and there's this setting, so when you see me fiddle with the thing in my ear, I'm turning the setting so I can hear what you guys are screaming. I was like, oh, that's so interesting that,
Yeah, I
yeah.
never I knew what in-ear monitors were and that, obviously they let you hear yourself and hear the mix. I
Hmm.
didn't realize there was a setting that you can hear the audience, so that's really cool.
Yeah. So I think also when you hold up the mic, like the handheld mic, you start picking up the audience as well. That's why they do it. But
Right.
uh yeah, the Bad Omens guys also said that they turn their in-ear monitors on and the mics that are on stage before they actually come out, like for
Mhm.
a good few minutes. So they said that at a lot of shows they've heard people like talking shit about them in their in-ear monitors in the crowd.
I mean, extra motivation to go out and absolutely kill it
Yeah. Um,
and prove them wrong. So,
mhm.
which
So, but
I don't know
anyway,
how anyone can hate Bad Omens. They're so good.
don't get me started.
Okay, I won't. For the
I,
s- for the s- for the sake of the stream being 2.5 hours, I won't get you started. But
okay. But I found that clip so moving where Hikaru like takes them out and is just slowly turning and looking around at everyone and taking it all in. And I think especially after I watched the documentary first before I went and watched the full tour.
hmm
And I just from everything the band and staff were saying about the music, and then that that part too where Hikaru, like after they said everything about how happy they are in this tour and it's like the best tour they've ever had, and like looking at everyone with the binoculars, and then this part where they like take the ear monitors out and are just like listening to everyone, and then they do like the really deep bow.
yeah,
So in Japan, that's the deeper and longer the bow is like how much humbleness and respect and gratitude you're showing.
right,
So
exactly.
like she goes to each corner of the stage and does that bow to everyone in the audience.
Yeah,
And it like moved me so much. I was close to tears.
I know, I know. Yeah, it was beautiful to witness because I don't think Hickey really realizes a lot of the time just how much impact she's had on her fans, and
Hmm.
I think in those moments it really hits her,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful, very poignant thing to be able to witness.
Yeah. I felt seen, even though I was watching it on Blu-ray. Like Hickey really connected with the fans in that performance more so than ever. And
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And I think they just they seemed so much lighter and happier.
Hmm. They have a
Um,
good therapist. Like they have an amazing therapist.
yes, yeah, they really did.
Hmm.
Like you felt that like joy and enthusiasm and happiness and through every single corner of this performance.
Hmm.
Every ah. every like that joy and that enthusiasm just seeped into every aspect of this performance, and you could feel it.
Hmm.
And it's a beautiful thing to be able to feel that when you can just be moved by a vibe or an atmosphere in a room, and
Hmm.
you're not even in the room.
Yeah.
You're just watching this on a screen on a phone or a computer or a tablet somewhere
Yeah.
or TV, and you're still getting that feeling. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was really beautiful. Um, yeah, I'm interested to see what you will think of the documentary. I made some notes in it, but I don't want to give any spoilers. But it was a very moving. Well, as a big fan, it's very moving and as well as like interesting. I'm always interested to see what happens behind the scenes and all the work that goes into the production.
Right.
Um, and yeah, the crew is all very multicultural too, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. The fact that Hickey, like every artist does this, but Hickey literally took the time to thank literally every single person involved in the
Hmm.
tour.
Hmm.
And I mean, a lot of artists thank, their band and whatever, and
Yeah.
in like a very like abstract way.
Hmm.
Hickey went really in depth with it. It was really nice to see that level of respect and appreciation that she had for literally every single person who
Hmm.
worked to put this together.
Yeah. Also, I was thinking today. I learned this the more I've been learning about music production is with how advanced technology is. The There's so many plugins that you can use from the front of house person who's like controlling the live production.
Yep.
Where everything I'm criticizing about Hikaru's voice being like shaky or off key or something, there's plugins that will fix that live. Like you can auto tune live,
Right.
but they are choosing not to do it, and that was like really real.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing too. If I'm watching a live performance, I don't want it to be perfect.
Hmm.
I want it to have some kind of differentiation. I want it to have some kind of flaw or something kind of cool or unexpected or interesting about it. I want it to have character.
Yeah, so you can tell it's live. It's not
Yeah,
being lip synced.
yeah. Which I can't say that for a lot of artists nowadays, that they'd
Hmm.
be brave enough to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Charlie XCX is one of the biggest pop stars in the world right now,
Hmm.
and we've had this discussion
Yeah,
about how they said, "Oh, like I'm not good live." They said I'm not
yeah.
good live because I rely on like auto tune and
Hmm.
like backing vocal. I'm like, that is not the flex you think it is, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you would like to add about this tour before we sign off?
Uh, I'll just say, of the tours that I've seen, and I've seen three of them in full
Hmm.
now. Or are we counting Air Studios as a tour? Do we count
No,
them?
because it's like a one-off.
Yes. So of the full tours, I'd say this is probably my favorite from a production value standpoint, from a song list standpoint, from just an overall atmosphere standpoint.
Hmm.
Fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be my new fave as well.
So, this topples Utada United.
I think so, just because it's spanning, like, including so much more new music. And Utada
Right.
United is from 2006 now. Like, there's so much more new music that's come out since then. Um, and just, I don't know, it's close.
Yeah, very close.
Hmm.
Very close.
Yeah, I'll have to give it some more watches before I decide.
Yes, absolutely. But the fact that you're even thinking that for you is a big statement.
hmm
It's a big statement. So
Yeah, they really impressed me with this one. It was really great.
absolutely, I agree. We have a couple of last minute comments here.
Mhm.
I want to get to before the stream closes. I'm sad that Summer New Marseille wasn't on the set list. It was such a vibe on Bad Mode. I always listen to it whenever I journal or work out. It feels like I'm venturing into another world. Same.
Mhm.
Literally this exact comment.
Yeah, one
Same.
of my favorites.
Absolutely.
The album. But we do have that aquarium performance of it.
Yes, we do. Which only Hickey can perform in an aquarium and make it look cool.
Right?
It's just one of the most iconic Bad Mo tracks, and I wish it had been snubbed, especially so badly that it's only in the credits. I know.
Yeah.
That's what irks me more than anything. If the credits had just been the credits and not played anything, I I would still be upset that Someone in Marseille wasn't on the set list.
Mhm.
But the fact that it was relegated to like the credits song just irks me even more than it would generally.
Mhm.
And it's just like, no, come on, really? Like, really? Nah.
Okay. Well, shall we wrap it up there? It's our bedtime.
Yes, we shall.
Okay, it's almost been 3 hours. So thank you everyone so much who joined us in the chat and everyone who watched live, everyone who's watching this in the future when it goes up on my channel. Thank you so much, Matthew, for coming out again. It's been way too long since
Yeah,
the
way
last
too
time.
long. It won't be this long again.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It's always such an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we get a chance to talk about these things, and we tend to agree on pretty much everything. But
Yeah.
um,
Maybe we'll have to do a new bookish live stream on my channel, eh? One
mhm,
of these days.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and yeah, I was gonna like tease about what will be the new video, but I haven't actually decided what will be the next video. Maybe my full collection video will be the next one, but we'll
Ooh.
see.
Whatever you have in store, I'm sure it's gonna be good.
Oh, thanks. um, Dylan says you're like Julie Andrews and Carol Burnett. Okay, I love the old Hollywood throwback.
Yes.
Whitney, so glad you came out. It's always a pleasant surprise to see you.
Yes. Biggest surprise ever tonight. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for
Oh,
popping
goodness.
in and hope you're well. And it's almost Christmas, so Merry Christmas, guys, and happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas or Happy Holidays, whichever you celebrate.
And yeah, we'll see you again soon.
All right, see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.